The Ryzen 7800X3D is still one of the fastest CPUs in the entire market in 2025. It just reached its lowest price since July 2024, making it one of the best CPUs to buy right now. That being said, if you want to build a PC around this AMD processor, you need the right components, because the last thing that you want is bottlenecking the Ryzen 7800X3D with trashy components that don't match this processor. That's why I will show you the best build for 1080p, 1440p and 4K resolution, so stay until the end if you want to see the exact level of gaming performance for each system and you want to find the perfect PC for you. And by the way, you will find the links to every system mentioned down below in the video description with the latest prices and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's get started. With the first one, we have the best 7800X3D system for 1080p resolution. In case you want to play esports shooters but you don't want to spend too much money, then I do recommend you getting this PC right here. Of course, for the CPU, you get the 7800X3D, and this will allow you to play these esports shooters like Fortnite or Valorant at 360 plus, possibly even 500 plus FPS on average, depending on the settings and depending on the exact game. Now, for the graphics card, and this is very important as well, I went with the NVIDIA RTX 5060 Ti 16GB version. Perfect for 1080p high to ultra settings in the most high demanding games out there. In fact, you can also use it for 1440p high to ultra settings in high demanding games. So if you want to switch to 1440p down the line, or maybe you already have a 1440p monitor and you want the best value system, this is going to be the ideal PC for you. Now, if you want to save up some money and get around the same level of gaming performance, you can downgrade to the RX 9060 XT 16GB model, which will be very similar in terms of performance. By doing so, you will save around $60 and the total price for this system will be slightly slower. What I do not recommend you doing is downgrading to a graphics card with 8GB of VRAM in 2025. Graphics cards with 8GB of VRAM do not match with the 7800X3D, even if you just play esports games, because you always want to have the option to play high demanding games in the future or switch to a higher resolution monitor if you want to. Now, for the rest of the components, you get Wi-Fi included, 32GB of DDR5 memory, so this PC will be amazing for streaming and content creation as well. Then you get a big aftermarket CPU cooler and really good airflow from the Cooler Master 301 case, which in my opinion is one of the nicest cases out there, and is also one of the cheapest ones that you can get with pretty good quality. Now, the total price for this system, if you go with the 5060 Ti, will be around $1,200 USD, and if you go with the 9060 XT, will be around $1,140. Now, before moving on, I want to say that if you have under $1,000 to spend, I would not recommend you buying the 7800X3D. In that case, I highly recommend you grabbing a Ryzen 5 7600 or 7600X and then pairing that CPU with the same RX 9060 XT 16GB model. This will give you way better performance than if you get the 7800X3D and you try to fit a graphics card and stay under $1,000 for the total build. Because I'd say you get the 7800X3D, but then for the graphics card, in order to stay under $1,000, will be something like the RX 6600, which is way worse than the 9060 XT. In fact, it has 8GB of VRAM and it's a very nice budget graphics card. It's not a graphics card that's ideal for 1080p ultra settings in most games, and it doesn't match with the 7800X3D. So please do not get the 7800X3D if you have around $1,000 USD to spend and you don't want to go over that amount. Now, if you have more than $1,200 to spend, you can get the same exact system with the 7800X3D, but this time you can switch to the NVIDIA RTX 5070. This graphics card will be ideal if you want to play at 1440p ultra settings even in the most high demanding games, and you can also use it for 4K 60 plus FPS. So if you play at 4K and you want a value system, this PC with the 5070 will be perfect for you. And if you end up doing that, the total price will be around $1,320. So yes, around $100 to $120 more than the original system, but you will be getting much faster performance. And even if you play esports games with the 5070, you will be achieving faster performance. So feel free to go with a 1440p 480Hz monitor. Now, if you want to max out 1440p, so you want to play the latest, most high demanding games out there, or you want to be able to play at 4K ultra settings with no issues, then this next 7800X3D build will be the best one for you. And in terms of esports games, you will be able to max out the 1440p 480Hz or 4K 240Hz monitor. For the graphics card here, I recommend you going with the 9070 XT 16GB version or RTX 5070 Ti. Now, both of these GPUs will allow you to play any game that you want at 1440p max settings, and you will be achieving achieving over 120 plus FPS in the most high demanding games out there, and also you can play with ray tracing enabled. On top of that, you get a more premium quality build because you get a 240mm liquid cooler, you get a more premium quality motherboard with Wi-Fi included once again, you also get 32 gigs of RAM, so amazing for streaming and content creation, and then you get 2TB of SSD, so you get more storage in case you want to install more games or more programs. Then you also get a more premium quality case in the Montec XR case, in my opinion one of the best price to performance cases in the entire market, and the price for this PC with the AMD graphics card will be around $1,640, and then the price for the one with the NVIDIA graphics card will be around $1,700 USD. In my opinion, the 5070 Ti is slightly better because it's better when it comes to ray tracing performance, and you get DLSS, which is the NVIDIA upscaling technology, and it works better than FSR, and it's supported by more games. So if you can go for $1,700, I do recommend you going with the 5070 Ti. And then if you just want to max out a PC around the 7800X3D, I highly recommend you getting the NVIDIA RTX 5090. This is the fastest graphics card in the entire market, and you will be maxing out any game, whether it's a high demanding game at 4K or an esports shooter at 1080p, it doesn't matter. However, if you have this amount of money to spend for the 5090, you might as well go with the 9800X3D, which is slightly faster than the 7800X3D. For the rest of the components, you get a better premium quality case in the Montec King 95 Pro. I absolutely love this case. You also get a liquid cooler, Wi-Fi included, 2TB of Gen 4 SSD, and overall an amazing gaming PC. Best of the best, top tier system, but the price is also top tier at around $3,500 USD by the time of filming. Keep in mind that maybe when you're watching this, some of these 7800X3D PC builds will be slightly cheaper depending on the price by the time of watching, so I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability from the links down in the video description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.